Morning everybody, and welcome back for the second time today to the Kangaroo Flat Bowling Club. It's our second final, the B7, B8 singles between two very well-known men in the bowl scene. It's Josh Thornton, Barry Brennan from the Moama Bowls Club. Of course, Josh representing Murray Downs Golf, and this is the opening end in the race to 21 to see who takes home the gold medal. Conditions slightly windy since we last saw you. The wind sort of in the player's back in this direction, so see probably half a second or so in difference. This is the opening end, as we said. JT has gone just about ditch to ditch to open proceedings, and not a bad couple starters. A man who hasn't been on BVTV before, but making a name for himself in the comments anyway, is Mick Clark from Ballarat. Hey Mickey, how are you, pal?
Good, Sammy. Good to be on here, and a bit different being on this side of the mic.
Side of it. Yeah. The comments will come through here. Yeah. We'll keep an eye out.
Can't be a keyboard warrior today.
That's it. Of course, streaming across Facebook and YouTube, all brought to you by the Moama and Dandenong Club. So you hear that wind really rippling through the microphone. Just holding one. We've got ITO Pete Barnett paddling or marking and using the paddles for us to assist in this final. JT, early change of hand. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. He's got up and turned his own onto the jag. It's a really good shot.
Great shot.
In fact, he's turned it so far down the line that he's might have made a third. And from the mat for Barry, that's not going to look all that good.
No.
Don't know if he'll search or draw to jack high on the forehand.
I think he'll definitely follow that. Just at least hit that last bowl. Yard through, maybe. 3 down anyway.
Giving it some hope. Needs to the inside of this, not the outside.
Just a fraction wide.
No connection, and still remains 3, and JT's going to draw in for 4 on the first end. Now, we were both watching the semi-finals of both of these games. Barry able to get the win over Net Ruff. We fought hard, I think 21-13 in the end, 21-12,
so, mate,
21-13.
Yep.
And the other semi-final, absolute classic, to be fair.
Last 5-6 ends, as you saw, we both saw, it was just awesome quality, and Ross and JT put on a bit of a clinic actually.
Roscoe held game. He was holding 2 at 19 apiece. JT came down, drew a shot cold for 1, then was able to hold on to a really strong opening bowl, and that was the way the head remained. And talking about strong opening bowls, this is a strong start. Throws it in for 4.
He's carried that form over, that's for sure.
Yeah, back over the streaming rink is the same as the last. Green's playing pretty fair across all the rinks here on Hay Green at Kangaroo Flat. Pretty kind surface. The wind making the pace slightly tricky. The line's pretty kind, not real big turn at all. Did you play up here yesterday?
On this green I did, yeah. Yep. It's a beautiful green. Both greens are really nice. Wind's been a bit tricky at times, but how's he going?
Barry on his backhand, just trying to sort of get through the port up to the...
Tell you what, he's closer. He's closer.
Can he get it through the jack?
Oh, what a shot.
Barry Brennan,
wow,
4 down to 1 up.
Wow. Great bowl.
There you go, that was looking unlikely until the last bowl. Turns it sort of through the jack and then manages to follow on. I think the pace was key there, gave it a chance for a number of options. So Barry Brennan is on the board and underweight. Maybe with that, there'll be a late change to Moama's Champion Estate pennant lineup on Saturday and Sunday. Baz has got himself a role as the manager.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a bit stiff.
Kev, hope you're not watching.
So they're 16 down to 12.
Down to 12, and they can name an emergency or 2 if they like.
Okay.
Kicking off Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. Be live streaming 3 games a day. weekend edition over Saturday, Sunday, and then midweek over Monday and Tuesday. And what are some fairly strong fields this year? Keep an eye out across BV socials. This afternoon we'll release the streaming schedule for that event, for Saturday at least.
It's probably JT's loosest bowl in 4 hours.
Yeah, we usually like to focus on the positives and the good bowls and shots that are played on BVTV, but that's
smart.
trash. That's closer out of bounds. Back to make the correction, so if you're just joining us, this is the B7, B8 singles final between two quality opponents. Good shots by Baz and
just under the line.
Far away.
You've had a busy week again, Sam. Run around.
More bowls, Mickey.
Hey?
More bowls.
More bowls. Looking after everyone.
We'll do it again. No, tell you what, the crew at Kangaroo Flat have made my job very easy. So of the players, big shout out to the crew here, all the volunteers, and Shane, the greenkeeper, and his team. First here and last to leave, just about. Second year running, we've hosted the event here, and the greens and the surrounds as well were magnificent, as we see JT searching on the forehand. He's going to get unlucky and rip all the way through. So after saving 4 down, turning it to 1 up the opening end, there's a chance now for Brennan to back it up and add a 4th in. How's he looking, Mick?
Fraction high, but it's trying to get down. It's done enough. Enough.
Yeah, right. So pace means he gets down in time, and it is 4. And JT with a bit of work to do. What does he come up with? Does he try and play something similar?
I think so, mate. Yeah, I think he'll come down on his forehand and just try and adjust on his last. Well, I've got that wrong.
Late more speed.
Wow. Didn't see that shot coming, to be honest.
No, I didn't. And more based off the fact that in the previous semi-final, when he was actually game down, a very different situation. Get a run away.
Yes.
Get it played early. Give yourself something to look at. But in the last game, he backed himself to draw more often than not when he was down.
Yeah.
So
I suppose
surprised
early
as you are.
days. Early days.
Probably.
He's not too stressed yet, but
Probably backed himself to hit at least either of the 2 bowls that were either side of the jack as well.
Yep.
Wide out the hand and just held its line. Tell you what, I don't know how much you caught of the pairs game. We got Lucas in commentary the last one, but what a finish.
Oh,
Frank and Jay's picking up those last balls at 3 or 4 ends in a row, and then even down to last end, Benny PGO so close to turning the bowl out onto the jack for a few.
Yeah, no, I think it looked like he had 3 or 4 seconds. Well, we weren't sure, both watching it from the sidelines, but yeah, what a start by Barry.
JT's bowl staying
Just
the
stayed
back
up,
of the rink. You'll see in the background, and there's a few sort of inside and sat along where we're set up just outside the clubhouse. A good group of players and carers and family and friends have stuck around to watch the final game of this year's Para Championships. It's been good. There's been a good crowd every day watching the games.
It has. Yeah, definitely. I think everyone's trying to get out of the wind at the moment, which is a smart move.
Fair.
Not quite as cold as Ballarat Summit, but
No complaints from me. Now, the weather's been kind to us most of the week. Had a few showers on the Monday morning to open things up, but after that, couldn't have asked for much better as JT makes a correction to get himself second shot. Yeah, it always looks underneath, so it's just that wind just making it a bit tricky. See that one sort of rip away a fair way. Always narrow the hand.
Has been the tight side, but that one really just ripped on him.
JT probably looking for another couple feet to give himself a chance to turn the ball away from the jack.
It's very close.
Needs the right connection,
Oh.
asking for all of it.
What a shot that
And
is.
gets all of it, trails it all the way through to the back of the rink. You'll see there. Brings his opening bowl at the end into play. Bit of airtime as well from Josh.
Kangaroo.
Didn't know he was capable of that. Yes. Have you seen that before? You didn't know that was coming, did you?
No.
I did.
I
knew
like
exactly what was
I
coming.
like it.
All right, so Baz just trying to get a bit of an indication as where to the jack is in relation to the short bowls. A bit hard to see from all the way down the other ring, so short bowls are sort of covering up the jack a little bit. Might actually try and follow JT down here on the backhand. Not a bad attempt, is it, Mick?
It's just got to get down and...
You're right. And he's turned his own closest into the ditch. It was 2 anyway. It's a pretty good look at it. So, JT after dropping the 4, here to score, has a chance here to draw in for a third.
It's a nice setup this for JT, so I don't think he'll leave this short.
No danger anywhere, is there?
Nah. It's all down to speed, but
Well, it went further than I originally
yeah,
thought
I
it was
thought it
going
was pulling
to.
up. It's in the count, but look at it. Yeah, Pete's called 3.
Joshy Thornton has himself on the board in the B78 singles final. Trails Barry Brennan 5 shots to 3. Now, second and final stream of the day. Early finish for us. Got to get back up the road to Moama in time for Monday morning, mate. Days of the week.
Oh, mate,
Saturday morning.
I'm not having to go at you. The amount of work you've done lately, so...
Norris Carnival. Make sure you get your entries in. Entries extended with the boost in prize money. Same for the over 60s. Entries will shut up tomorrow night for the Novice Carnival. You're a novice, eh?
Sometimes, definitely. I feel like one.
Hey, I tell you when you're not a novice. At Hayfield Bowls Club when you play Vic Open triples.
Oh,
Oh,
what a day. I should text my skipper and...
played for Australia.
Yeah, no, it was good fun. Good fun. It was good fun until you stole the game off us, but that's fine.
You're welcome.
We're not going to talk about that.
If I'd known at that stage that Tobre we had no intentions of rocking up at any stage during that tournament for the triples, I would have just not worried about it.
Yeah, I think you might have said you would have preferred to play the singles.
Yes. No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did happen.
As long as your players aren't watching, you're safe.
Correct.
JT done with his second. Just slid under again, but beautiful weight. Gonna hang around, Sammy, that one for the shot. What were Barry's results in the sectionals, mate?
You know what? That's a pretty fair question. They played round robin, sectional play yesterday, 3 games.
I know Josh Barry
pretty
was
confident
one.
in the fact that Barry's gone all the way through in winning all 3 games. Barry was in section number 3. It was deemed potentially a bit of a section of death because it was a pretty stacked section.
Bloody oath, yep.
So here Baz comes
good
down
shot.
and adds another one in for 2. He beat DJ Weaver from Swan Hill Racecourse, who JT usually teams up with in the pairs event. That was 21 shots to 19. Then came out in the second round and had a pretty big win over Josh Barry from Warwick-Nabil. And then topped it off with a 21 shot to 14 win against Shirley Ivanovic from Lilydale. So won all 3 games, couple close games, convincing win in the second game. And then JT had a 21-16 win over Howard Smith from Clunes, and then a 21-13 win over Bernie Dettering from Traralgon. So close games for all these boys. It's JT on the run again, very close.
Close to getting both here. Oof.
Clips one away clean. Back to 1.
I suppose the other thing we've got to point out, mate, is no dead ends. It's always a respot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Here at the Paris.
On that. Bassa doesn't have the weight to change anything there, but does pick up a 1 and move to 6 shots to 3.
Sort of sticking to the same length here, Sammy, the boys at the moment.
JT was keen to try and go pit to pit early, or well, that's what he game planned when he told me 5 minutes before the game.
Okay.
See how long he sticks with that for.
Yeah, well, that was sort of the length they sort of played in the semi-final, late to Ross and JT, so. Fair start up.
Yep. Yeah, all the way back down to the jack in time.
Oh, Barry Brennan. Wowee.
BB. I don't like the term has come to play, but he has come to play.
He certainly has.
Hot start, sits it back out to land on top of the jack. JT trying to follow down. Trying hard to hold on in time.
Very close.
Even any contact will spring the jack. Oh, how good's this for a game? Boys into their work early.
Ooh. Measure.
Turns it off the jack and cannot be separated for the moment. Still probably that similar shot on the backhand, just arriving. A little touch on the jack down the line. Works in Barry's favour. Just under his own is a pretty good guide. Is he holding on in time?
Yes.
Barry Brennan, this has held a mile.
Wow.
Oh, and gets a little flick on the jack, and that might have even made it 2. Not sure how if the jack moved towards Barry's bowl that it's now definitely just one. That's got me beat.
No.
If it was a measure before that. Anyway, JT looks to be changing over here, trying to change an angle up on the forehand. No, backhand. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, sub me off.
Yeah, well, we're not reading very well, are we?
No, he's absolutely nailed it as well, I think.
He's got a bit of jack here.
Oh, clips it off clean again.
Wow, wait.
So, by that indication, that would mean JT now holds the shot. Confirmed. Needs to hurry that track for mine.
Yep, got to run. Doesn't actually turn more than his last
He's having
two.
a real close look to... Sure he is holding.
I've sort of gone back to indicating a measure, I believe.
Yeah.
One side looks like mine, the other side.
Okay.
Commentating without the headset on from JT. How good.
Yep.
I wonder if he'll continue to stick with his backhand or try and turn his own on the forehand. He might be half a chance to
I think he's going to try and
turn
turn
the
it,
blue
mate.
out. No, he's probably not getting any movement on the blue, but his own on the way in. You can use that to get down to the jack. It's getting down or not?
It's not. It's sort of sticking out there a bit.
Great speed for it.
Was.
Don't think either of the lads will be giving shot away here without a tape being put over it. Playing good spirits. All the games have been here. Both the boys know each other very well.
I was wishing that was a metal tape just to set you off, Sammy. Loves these metal tapes.
Where was that at?
Oh,
Someone at the Vic Open, maybe?
yeah, I think so. You're on with Tony.
Must have been one of the later games.
Yep. Fan of the string, aren't you, mate?
Lots of streaming, yes. Probably shouldn't bother me, but anyway. B7, B8 singles final here at Kangaroo Flat. Barry Brennan leading Josh Thornton 6-4. Morning to all those tuning in across Facebook and YouTube. There's an event on, there's a live stream never far away. Yes, Matty, stay pennant. The winners of each region will play off against each other. Couple sections of 6 teams. Winner from each section will make it through to the final. Sunday evening and Sunday for the weekend and Tuesday afternoon for the midweek. Looking forward to getting up to the Moama Bowling Club for that one. JT just missing the speed. Does stay on at the back of the ring. Just. Oof. Bassett might be in a pretty similar area.
Great correction by JT.
See them just staying on the back of the ring, but that's an easy correction for JT.
We sort of grabbed that
even with
late,
the wind
yeah.
back into them, because we can see the sort of flags out on the corners of the green, and
It's all over the place.
sort of, but they're bowling into the wind here, but yeah, it's also cutting across the green, sort of going to the right hand side a little bit this direction as well. Very easy to miss the pace as well. It's a bit too pace at the moment, not easy.
It is. Yep. it's. I think most bowlers would say we prefer the crosswinds to the up and down. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, two-pace never easy to adjust, especially when you get a gust. It is a little bit gusty.
Barry
Barrett's
just
missing
try
the
to bring
line.
it in.
Yeah, that's it.
Easy to do.
Yeah, one gust into the head. Bang.
Yep. Still probably needs to split those bowls of Barry up just to play it safe.
Yeah, that's it.
It's better speed.
Seems to run it out. Played it good.
Yep. Makes it 2.
There's a couple in Barry, not much shots on, but a forehand backhand draw. I knew it was a backhand
Barry
draw.
does
That's
have,
forehand.
yeah, 2 just off the screen there, but has got a couple of catches. It's not far away, Sammy.
He holds the jack.
Oof.
I was going to say all he had was a draw. If you middled that jack, Mick, you were right. He might have gone
Could have made
close to
3.
making 3.
Yeah.
Just slices it. No change and a 2 to JT to tie us up at 6 apiece. Good little game this. Conditions not making things real easy. What's on the calendar for you then, sir? You're all done for the season? Put them away for a little while?
A little while, yeah. I'm going to have a crack at the Oz Open in June, actually.
Have you been there before?
I haven't, no. So, excited to do that as JT tries to put the jack in the drink, but stays up. So yeah, looking forward to getting back up there, and I haven't played the Oz Open before, but I have played up on the greens up in the Gold Coast, and they tend to be something else.
So this was the plan for JT right from the opening end to go ditch to ditch, and he's got the mat back. He's won consecutive ends in the game for the first time to get back to 6 all, and pretty good speed with the opening bowl here.
Alex Parker asking for the green speed, and Sammy's all over the stopwatch here, so look out. Good shot, Barry. The wind just completely stopped then.
I reckon based on that, it's actually close to nearly 15.5, nearly 16 going with the wind.
Yeah.
Get the stopwatch out when we're going the other way just to see how much that difference is. Close to 16.
Yeah, I'd say closer to 14 the other way, potentially. Maybe not that extreme, Sammy.
Find out. Good couple of openers here from Barry, holding pretty good too. One right on it, one. The last one just sort of potentially in the eye on the forehand. In fact, where it's finished, it definitely is. So forcing JT into a change of hand, never easy. He just wants to hold on. Crashing.
Great speed. Tracking pretty well, this one. He's got the pace.
Chances?
Just pulling up.
Not quite. I thought it was up there just to, only had to reach the front pack and fall in. It was okay. So leave the 2. JT could play a really cool shot. Oh, yes. Go on.
Has read your mind.
I was going to say play a shot he could get through the pack. He loves commentating to himself when he's trying to work out the shot.
We should put this mic on him.
He sort of talks himself sort of through it, all the options that he has if he plays a certain shot and
He's
the
fun
pros
to
and
watch.
cons of that shot.
Very fun to watch.
There is a plant that potentially works on the forehand and searching. He's not getting the plant, but he might have the jack here.
Got
So
it.
stay in.
Out of
It's just gone out, I
bounds.
think.
So we'll go to the respot.
Just gone out. It stays in. The shot ball's not a touch. It stays in. He's holding 3.
I think
Chuck-
we're out by a couple of
Touch
inches
it
too.
through straight to the ditch. Yep, definitely out. I think that'll see Barry holding 1. Yes, it is, and chance to draw in for a second.
How's the speed of this? Don't think he likes it much.
No, well, it tried its best to wriggle its way around, but no change, and still the one to Barry. Brennan retakes the lead. 7 shots to 6, as you can see on your scoreboard. First to 21. Winner taking home the title for 2025. Favourite part of the week, Mickey? Anything that stands out to mind, performance-wise, off the green-wise?
Favourite time of the week? Is that what you asked me?
Something that stands out.
How are we playing that bomb in the semi-finals?
Good call.
Yeah, that was a fair
Hey.
bolt. That was...
That's
and-
on Facebook.
and
Real.
Some of the best camera work you'll ever see.
Boom, we don't miss that. What an extraordinary finish to that game. You know what was also good? His drive to get you out of trouble on the last end before
Correct.
we went to the extra end.
Yes, because his leader didn't show up that end.
And then the extra end, I heard you, does he have a weighted shot, you reckon, just to clip the bowl out? Nah, he usually just plays with a yard on. He'll play forward. Boom, up the middle. Ball goes out clean. We've won the game. Thanks for coming.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't think he had that in the trick bag, but what a shot that was. JT with a good starter here. Barry trying to reply. He's done a fair job of it too.
Good shot. Oh, check on the speed is this way. We reckon it's close to 16 going with the wind.
Depends on the gust, doesn't it? Fair shot here.
Chances. Needs to hit something. Oh, wow, well it does. Gets a little slice to the jack. You're right, potentially closer to 14.5, so close to a second half difference here. That's easy.
It's never fun, those sort of conditions, but both guys handling it pretty well. Barry trying to sit these bowls at JT. If he's got the speed, not quite. Oh, he's got that little trot going on. Oof.
played more speed in an attempt to try and get the jack moving around the corner, and he's giving himself another option with one all the way through. Bazin in his own right has a nice shot here on the forehand.
Just got to, it's just going under, but
He had a nice shot on if he missed. He would have loved to play weight to try and land one of JT's bowls. If he missed and missed on the wide side, he's covering.
Yep.
If he missed just under, he's turning his own bowls up to the jack.
Yep.
Just played sort of dead draw weight and missed the line. Now JT has a look to trail the jack for 3 or 4.
That one ripped.
I just don't know if he had the real good
Yeah,
weight.
it probably was the weight in the end. Be disappointed with that actually, JT. Had a really nice trail on there for 3 or 4.
Perry picks up the one, keeps control of the mat and flicks the scoreboard over to 8-6. So a few numbers early, but turning into a bit of a battle on the way to 21.
What about your highlight of the week, Sammy?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've become cameraman for the last two days. I reckon I've got some good shots. Real good.
Okay.
But we'll have to we'll stay tuned. If you see no more photos on Facebook in the next week,
They were no good.
that's because they were no good. On the green, Ben Peachy's a star.
Oh,
Runner-up in both the events he's played in.
easy gun, Ben Peachy. Righto, JT trying to correct on his last. He's got better speed, but
Needs to get down still, doesn't it?
yeah, it's not too bad.
Yep.
Oh, Barry Brennan. Bang.
On top of the jack, not for the first time in this game. The forehand going this direction seems to be the hand that they're finding the most, I reckon.
Yeah, I think down breeze they're just finding a little bit kinder.
Shot ball relation to Jack. What was that, sorry?
You just play up onto that, Sammy, that last bowl here. What do you...
I think so, but he
Oh,
does have
no.
2 seconds, so he might play something more adventurous to try
Yeah,
and maybe
yeah.
give himself a
Change
chance
it
to
up.
clip the bowl out. This is a hard shot. Still holding.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That held a long way.
that's one more. Even if he was to get the back edge of that through the jack, it probably almost kicks it to his own.
Yeah, I like that shot with 2 seconds for sure. Just works back.
Yeah, if he misses, he's probably looking for a bit of coverage, and it stays on.
Handy.
right in the direction where the jack's going if JT plays too much. Still looking for this. He's obviously looking for the shot bowl clean. It looked like it went early and it was always going to be underneath, but then still held the line a long way and it's only just missed sort of the bowl going over the tee. So after all, that's another one. 3 consecutive ones to Barry Brennan. Leads 9-6. It's going to see me out for a bit. Stay on for a little bit longer.
Righto, Sammy.
I'll go find someone that's capable of commentating to sub you out. No, not yet. Don't.
Clarky, what's going on?
Hey, Glenn. Just watching a good game of bowls, mate.
That's what I've seen from inside, staying away from all this wind that we've got running through here.
I saw you scoffing down a pie there inside, getting the nice hospitality here at Kangaroo Flat.
Lucas did not stop before about how good the service has been here throughout the week, and certainly good to experience it firsthand.
Been well looked after, that's for sure.
We did have the comment in the chat asking about your highlight of the week. What's it been for you?
We sort of went through that. We touched on that. That was Howie in our pairs. He in our semi-final played some unbelievable bowls to get us into the big dance. But
I did see the reel that was posted on socials of that last end.
Yeah.
Bowl for bowl, changed a few times over.
Yeah. I led against Barry Brennan here, and I was just trying to keep up with him most of the time. And Josh Barry and Howard Smith, they really turned it on the last couple of ends, that's for sure.
Now, having led against Barry in that contest, what would be your takeaway for what JT needs to do here to turn this 3-shot margin at this stage around?
I think, like, from what I've seen, I think he's trying to play a little bit more aggressive. Whereas in his previous game, JT was just drawing quite a bit and just trying to back his draw, whereas I think he's just playing a yard heavier than now and trying to manipulate the heads a bit more.
Yeah, that match against Ross was an absolute test match.
It was. Yeah, that was
Low
an
scoring,
awesome
shot for shot.
Yeah.
Matched each other at 17, 18 and 19 along the way.
All down to speed here.
Yeah, of course, the difficulty at the moment being the head and tail wind. They're pushing into the
That's a great
wind
shot.
in this direction. Yeah, Josh will be happy with that. Speaking to state coach Ian Ewing previously, he'd said that Josh was looking far more comfortable playing into the wind than he was against it.
Yep. I think
Just
both.
carrying through that little bit when the tailwind was behind.
Great reply here, Barry. What a bowl.
He just doesn't land them both there,
Yeah.
which is the impressive part. And in an area that's tricky for Josh, it's going to be hard to slide past the jack and get the bowl clean. If he is to slice that jack down the line, he'll need to hope it clears a few things to get to his own, the deepest bowl on the rink.
Oof. Wow.
Bit of a head shake from Josh as he walks away there. Fair enough too.
Not much of a hole there.
It's just over a bowl apparently. Replay here showing it nicely.
Oof.
And another one to Barry Brennan after that Wonderful last bowl of his. Takes us to 10-6.
Sort of played the same length so far throughout the game, Glenn. So
Both players, or
yeah.
have you noticed that change with the head and tailwind? Has it been that bit shorter pushing up into it and the
No,
the
they've
run through
adjusted
behind?
pretty well. I think the line's a bit harder to find into the wind now. I feel like they've been bowling a bit better downhill, down breeze. Great starter, Barry.
Now, obviously, playing in a different category, being in the B5-6 group. But have you had much chance to play against these boys other than the open pairs? What's the other para events?
No, mainly pairs. I haven't actually struck JT in the pairs yet either.
Fortunate for you.
That is fortunate, very fortunate. But yeah, it's I'd love that opportunity even just to lead against him and just watch him up close, because he's pretty exciting to watch.
Absolutely. Of course, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, Josh Thornton. Stuart Williams tuning in from Ho Chi Minh City, just around the corner.
Yeah.
Nice bowl there from Josh, finishing about 15 inches shy. Gives him another
Peter's just going to have a look for us.
measure on that. That surprises me from our
I thought it was
angle on the
close.
screen. It
Yeah.
looks a bit more like the
front.
the sky blue bowl than Josh's blue and yellow. For that slight weight correction, it's going to be difficult because we've reached one of those rare points where the breeze isn't puffing.
Oh, jeez, he's done well. Oh,
He's
yeah.
made sure of it now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that bowl of Barry Brennan's, he's looking rather lonely as well.
Definitely needs a friend.
Just asking for the gap between the shot bowl and the jack.
Come down, try and get the corner of his own. Even if it's another second, it's not going to be the worst. It's close, isn't it? Oh, it's a bit quick.
He's
Ooh.
got his own.
That's okay, though. Did he make it 2, though? 2 down.
Just the one
the
paddle
one.
held up. I think it would only take one roll on that bowl to make 3, though. Can safely draw there if he was to just tickle the jack around the corner. That might do enough to bring in the front bowl as well. He's going to change to that backhand side.
It's not far away, Glenn.
Needs to get a piece.
Oh.
And just slides through the hole.
It's a great effort.
Always animated as the arms are swinging around. Be a horrible poker player with JT.
Oh, yeah.
But gets the mat back. Places it right on the tee. And I think we're probably going to see him try and stretch here. No, playing a similar length, just from a different spot.
Yep. It's quite a big green, this green at Kangaroo Flat. Full length nearly.
Now, you've been classified for about just coming up towards 2 years now, Clarkie.
Yep.
What's it brought to you and your bowling experience, and talk a little bit about what the Parabowls community is like for you as someone that's relatively new to it, but
Yep.
has done nearly everything in the Parabowl side of things now.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome space. You know, like Bowls Victoria and yourself, as participation manager, is that your title? Coordinator. Do a great job of getting people involved with their individual disabilities, and yeah, I've been playing for 10, 11 years and didn't really know about the para space, and yeah, a couple of years ago I decided to reach out to, might have been you.
No, it was just before I began.
Okay, yep. And got classified, so you go through a classification process of with a physio and a bit of on-green work and a bit of a point system, and yeah, and then from there you get to compete in pretty cool events like this. But yeah, like as you know, Glenn, like we've got a pretty cool little community. We encourage each other. I was stiff, Barry. But yeah, one of the best things I did for my bowls was definitely getting involved in this space.
And is that the message out there to those that aren't necessarily aware of it or
For
sure
sure,
of it?
yeah.
Just
I know
reach
when
out and get involved.
Definitely. I know when I come across anyone in pennant or tournaments now, I try and be a bit of an ambassador, I suppose, and tell them to reach out to you guys and get classified and get involved.
Of course, you've done it all in such a short period of time as well. Since getting classified, got the chance to pull on the big V for the first time last year as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a pretty cool experience, and yeah, something I was very grateful for the opportunity and up at Broadbeach, and yeah, something I'll never forget.
Of course, we've got the competition days like state champs, like the Vic Open integrated event and some of the other tournaments we have, but the other ones that you're a regular at are the open training days that go on as well.
Yes. Masterful coaching by you, Glenn, as always.
That was only just the last one. Normally hand that off to JR to take care of those, but unfortunately he'd won that day.
Yes.
Playing himself.
Gonna have a big bowl coming up here, Glenn.
Yeah. Josh Thornton holding the 4. Could be a chance to take that lead for the first time all match. Of course, the players drew level after 6 ends. But that's the closest it had been since the beginning.
I'll tell you what. Oh,
it's a fair effort. Maybe cuts out one of the front ones. Hard to tell.
Did tail the whale on him.
No, it is all 4 paddles being raised. And we have a new leader. Josh Thornton jumps in front, 11-10. Lucas was talking before about the fun of being able to be involved across the disability spectrum at those training days as well, and a lot of those events, being involved with some of the IDs and the VI bowlers as well.
Yeah, I actually had that opportunity at Mulgrave recently with the vision impaired, and yeah, it's quite a learning experience, and it's amazing what they do and how you guys set up the meters on the side so we can call out how far the jack is, and it's just, yeah, it's incredible what they can do.
Showing that fully accessible nature of our game. Plenty of players out there not just having these experiences, but as you said, you're a pennant player for a long period of time in the open pennant formats before getting involved in the Parabowls community.
Yep.
How many other sports can you do that? Have you
Yeah.
play the fully open competition, play some of the best in the state and country, and then the next day go out and play in your own classification fit for purpose event for yourself as well.
Yeah, from the ages of 5 to 95, and or even more extreme than that. It's a pretty cool sport that we're involved in. That's for sure.
Now, were you bowling before you ever had your diagnosis, or not?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed, but
yeah, okay.
the symptoms probably weren't as bad as they are now.
Yep.
So I've had to adapt and tweak things as time's gone on, but
Yep.
great shot by Barry just to settle the nerves after that fall. Got the speed.
Needs his own, gets it and runs.
Oof.
But just turns that bowl flat. Tricky thing for Josh now is that he's got no bowls past the jack really, and a very small window to try and remove that bowl of Barry Brennan's. I think Barry would probably be pretty happy to play something past the jack and not get too close to it here.
Yeah, don't want to get it too fat here. Clears JT.
If he gets under and tucks it around the
Oh,
corner, that
wow.
works.
Just draw it two. Oh,
Juicy.
oh, juicy. But doesn't have a back bowl.
No.
And we do play respot, obviously in the para. So this is an interesting one for JT. I think, obviously, if we had dead ends, we know exactly the shot he'd play. But
Yeah, I think he'll be looking at that forehand side. If he gets his own bowl through, chance to reduce.
yeah,
Plays, 6 to 8 feet of weight and gets the split between, can peel them both out and follow through. Obviously can't go too big at it, because if he does get that front bowl right through the jack, he'll be a big number down. And Barry Brennan still does have his last bowl to play. He's playing a little bit more weight than I thought he might have.
good area.
He's in the area. Can he get the split between them both? He does. That's only the one down at this stage, I believe. Always hard to tell when the nearest bowl is over 3 or 4 yards away.
Yep.
I think it's all going to be irrelevant shortly anyway, with Barry having one more bowl to play and a paddock to get inside of.
Yeah. The forehand this way has been a bit tricky to play, but he's going to have to play it here. But yeah, he should be able to clear those front bowls quite easily.
As we noticed in the last stream, in this wind, there was a jack that was only inbounds by 3 or 4 inches, and playing that off-centre draw on that tighter side, the far side from where we're streaming at the moment, the inside of the green that Barry is playing was the tricky side to judge that wind and come back
the
on.
wind's grabbing this.
Yeah, more gusts coming through. Won't get back in bounds. Commentator's curse from me there.
Yeah, if I had me, I'd probably called that too. Just that side of the green, I played on this green yesterday in the singles as well, and I didn't play that. I tried to stay away from that side of the green even when there was no wind. So the green's beautiful, but it's just this clubhouse side, just a bit kinder.
Yeah. Another 2 shots to Barry Brennan, and we've got another lead change.
finally starting to warm up a bit too, Glenn.
I was saying to Lucas before, I checked the weather last night while packing the clothes before leaving at 6:30 odd this morning to get up here for the day, and saw that it was due to be 25 at 3 o'clock. It went, you absolute beauty.
It definitely wasn't that at 11 o'clock this morning.
We've just been treated across the last little while.
Yeah,
Vic Open, we had rain the night before the event and a couple of overcast days, but for the most part it was 8 of the 10 days are all you could have asked for.
Yeah, no, it was
State
good.
champs at East Bendigo. Again, 2 overcast days, but no rain whatsoever, and most of the rest of it sitting at a comfy 20 to 22. Sun shining, light breeze, and again this week.
I'm sure it makes you guys at Bolsvik pretty happy for scheduling and not having to squeeze games in because of weather.
Yeah, plus
Keep the camera gear dry too.
and it keeps the greens running at their best, and of course all these state championship events we want to see the best players playing on the best surfaces and having the opportunity to show off their skills in the best way possible.
Barry's just found his weight again here, so.
And once again, Kangaroo Flat providing us fantastic greens, but on top of that, just an overall really good facility for a para event.
Yeah. Yeah, no, most of us tend to like flat surfaces, and it works pretty well here at Kangaroo Flat, that's for sure.
You use the walker day in and day out to get around, so no steps into or out of the clubhouse, nice and flat from the car parks through the gates. Plenty of space between the greens as well, where you can both overtake each other and walk side by side if there's you and another
Barry
player with a walker. That works.
Oh, hey.
How's the weight grouping there?
Yeah.
3 within about 3 bowls of each other.
I think JT's definitely got a swap here. Back over to the backhand, and
If he does hold on, that breeze can land at either of the wider ones.
yeah.
He's got more pace than I was expecting him to play. I thought it'd be more of a genuine draw, but he's just holding out on that breeze with that weight. Is he going to stay up? No, he just trickles in.
We're sort of talking, Sammy and I were talking before, compared to his semi-final, he just tried to outdraw Ross. Whereas now he seems to be trying to play a bit more positive, but that's also a bit of Barry, just drawing really well and putting him under pressure at times.
It'll be interesting as we get deeper into this game, particularly if Barry can get another few shots here and get that bit closer to see how he holds on near the end. His semi-final against Annette Ruffle jumped out to I think it was about 17-4 lead and was sat on 20 for a while as she toiled her way up to 11.
Annette really fought hard in that game and just never gave up, which was a testament to her.
Barry obviously got the shot at the end to get himself here to the final, but that nervous finish may still be lingering in the back of his mind.
Yeah.
As this game does go deeper.
Yes. I was actually going to look up and see, like I'm sure JT's got a few of these titles. But has Barry ever gone deep?
Yeah, he's always around the pointy end. I'm trying to remember last year's final. I feel like Barry might have been in it last year.
Well, that's a full count to Barry, that one.
Yeah.
Both had a full count going back this way into the win, so.
Yeah, there's been some numbers throughout the matchup.
Yeah.
That's Barry's second 4. JT's had a 4 of his own as well as a 3.
Just not forgiving on these conditions. If you get it wrong, the wind can make you look pretty silly.
Yeah, and in a game of 21 up, sometimes there's nowhere to run when that's happening.
Yeah, well, I know myself, like in these 21 up games, like that's 17. That's your obviously your magic number. That's when you can start thinking about. Well, hopefully they're not thinking about it too much, but obviously the checkout zone and
Yeah. Puts that pressure on your opponent where they can't afford to make a mistake. Or a big mistake.
yeah,
4 bowls you might be able to miss with one, but
yeah.
you certainly can't go and put 4 in the pit and give them a free hit at it. Nice weight there from JT.
We might get a bit of jack move in here. No, just under.
Just under. But a good head building bowl nonetheless.
Yep, for sure. You have a single strategy, Glenn, like a go-to that you fall back to, or
Cross my fingers, close, close the eyes, and try and chuck them close.
that's my strategy.
It's the one format where I do like to try and game plan for opponents. I find team games are too variable between which player's playing well. Do you need to, say even in something like a game of pairs, do you need to throw their lead off it if they're playing particularly well, or do you need to react to what the skip's doing? There are so many moving parts that I find that a little bit of a difference in game planning. But in singles, a lot of the time you'll know who your opponent is and what they're trying to do. So you've got some can put some of that extra planning in initially.
Yeah.
I know that if it's a player that I certainly back myself to beat, or I back my consistency more of, or an inexperienced player, I do like to go the yo-yo on them, play long one direction, short the other, and constantly mix it up.
Yeah. That might be back to 2, is it? Yep. Back to 2 for JT.
A player that's appears to struggle with longer ends or uses particularly small bowls on a windy day, then I'll stretch it out and let their bowl be exposed to the wind for longer and hope that my 4.5 stand up through that breeze.
What's Barry done here? Oh, just got the hole, unfortunately.
Yeah, chance for JT to have a strong response and draw the 3rd here. See if he can peg back most of that 4 that he lost last end.
Yeah.
No, I think the main thing with singles, it comes back to a full belief in yourself and your ability to do what you need to in any circumstance.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where you see more than a lot of other formats where I'm playing long and they're playing short, so they're not doing anything to help their teammates. That may not be directly what they want to do, but can they find the best way to can you find a way to win on the thing that you don't want to be doing?
Yeah.
That full confidence and ability to back yourself ends up being vital. Another 2 to Josh Thornton. Arrests some of that momentum that Barry had picked up getting the prior 6 shots. 15 ends of this 21 up game. We are now sitting at 13-16 the way of Barry Brennan. What
That's
about
a
you?
slightly different length than what we've been playing.
Yeah, pushing up into the wind. He's missed that jack roll by about 3 yards on where it was the last time they played this way.
Looks good from our vantage point, but yeah.
What about yourself with singles planning? Any go-tos or?
Oh, just don't get in my own head too much, and like you said before, I think a lot of singles is about self-confidence and just backing yourself. Whereas, sometimes I get in my own head in singles, and when it starts going bad, it can go real bad, which, Just got to stay calm. Second shot's a good shot sometimes.
Yeah.
Getting down to that bowl. Yeah, good shot, Barry.
It's one of those other underrated things in singles a lot of people don't think about, but if you've got the ability there, if you've got a mate that's watching you for the day or someone to play with, nominating someone as a coach before your matches begin, just so you can get out of your own head at times and have that person to talk to and have it be fully within the rules of going, hey, I just want to have a chat here.
Yeah.
Feeling good about things, but what do you think about this just to reaffirm that decision that you're wanting to
100%.
play?
Yep.
For players wanting to get better, I think that's a really good...
Oh, definitely. I actually
good
had
thing
some
to have.
family here yesterday watching me in our singles in the B5, B6, and even just them grabbing a drink and just, as you know, as they're handing that over, you know, take a deep breath, slow down, just little things. Stuff I should know, and I know, but in
It
the
can be an
heat of
awfully
battle.
lonely game.
Yeah.
Especially with 4 bowls as well, because there are plenty of good players out there who they might have their off end and miss with 3, but that 4th bowl can still be damaging.
For sure, for sure.
And winning the mental battle against a player that does that kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
We go, oh, I thought I had them there, and
Yeah.
now they've managed to save it with the last.
Yep.
Speaking of save it with the last, Barry Brennan's going to need to play a good one with his last bowl.
Yeah.
JT holding 2, maybe 3 at the moment, and about to play his last bowl up this end.
They've both had some high pressure bowls with their 4th, that's for sure. JT will try and sit this wider one of his.
Doesn't build the target at all, leaves some
No.
holes there. Pushing up into the wind.
It's only
That
one
will
shot,
be-
so
That really surprises me.
Yeah.
From the angles that we're looking
Yeah.
at, the nearest of Barry Brennan's is the bowl that is short on the left of screen as we look at it now.
yeah, that camera angle's obviously what the one previous was where we're looking at it. It looks like 3 or 4 nearly here.
Yeah.
It's tracking very well. Oh, it just went through the hole.
Yeah, that was the worry.
Yeah. Any jack movement there was going to be nasty, but it was a great effort by Barry.
JT's confirmed the one. He just wants to have a look at the other. It is just the one. And now we go from back-to-back ends for Barry to back-to-back ends for JT. And it's back to a 2-shot margin.
There's
You were
definitely been a strategy shift here from JT, that's for sure, just in the length of his ends.
it's interesting that he's gone to that short length. It may take away that need for him to feel that he was being quite as aggressive at.
Yeah.
Get back into that slower body rhythm, slower pace, short ends. That
Just
more-
find a bit of rhythm and
It's a good tactic if he did feel that he was rushing it all and overplaying things and getting that bit of aggressive. Yeah, we're talking about having played the B5-6. Just for the viewers at home, we've got some notes here about the breakdown of what the different classifications mean. So in the paraphysical bowls community, the classifications are handled by a group called International Bowls for the Disabled. Now, as you mentioned before, it's a two-part process, one of which being what's called the bench test, a very almost medical room-like format of testing.
Yeah.
Where,
Bit of examination
yep,
of sorts,
so
but
things
nothing
like
to be scared
ranges,
of.
no,
course.
ranges of motion, limb
Bit of-
length
lot of
imbalances,
balance work, yeah.
things like that to establish a baseline before the
Yep.
technical classification on the green. Then those classifications fall into 4 different groups in the physical. So the vision impaired have 4 different categories, B1 to B4, and that's the amount of vision that different bowlers have. And for the physicals, it's B5 through to B8. Now, the B8 are I guess what you'd consider the
More abled, but
the entry level of the disability spectrum. So B8 bowlers are, again, these notes are taken from the IBD, International Bowls for the Disabled website. So B8s are ambulant bowlers who have a permanent and irreversible disability. They've lost 10 points on the bench test but have no noticeable impairment of function. So they can still function normally, but they're fully disabled and have reached enough points to be classified.
getting down to the jack here, is he?
Yeah, just
run
a
out
little
of
bit more, but he's got a good one, and it's probably worth putting the tape on that second one. There's still a track there for JT to find his way in. As Barry's bowl's just fallen over. That's fallen the correct way as well, I believe. B7 bowlers are ambulant and wheelchair bowlers with minor balance problems, so loss of less than 5 points on that scaling that they're using when they get tested. So the B7s and the B8s compete against each other in this singles format. As you said, you played in the 5-6s yesterday. He's got the
bang.
jack in the heart.
Wow. What a shot by JT that is. We were just talking about him trying to get his draw back, but as I said, he's just playing an aggressive game, and if you back yourself, you can play shots like that.
Maybe that's another reason why you go for that shorter length.
Yes, yes.
Mix it up, and if you're feeling like you're going to hit anything throughout the day, then
Yeah.
it's easier to hit from 23 metres, 24 metres than it is from 30.
Especially in these conditions.
Yeah, take some of the guesswork on the draw weight out of it, playing with the big tail, or tail and crosswind.
Looks like it's about 3 inches off in the pit, so did Barry have a toucher at all with his hand?
Jack had moved, but I wasn't sure
Yeah.
whether it was
I think
Josh or
there's
whoever is it
chalk
now?
on that. Can't tell.
the weight he's playing. It does look like he's trying to sink that bowl of his
Yeah, I
inside
think that is a toucher.
Josh's.
He's close.
He's not far away at all.
Great effort.
Good pace to try and chip that in.
Yep.
Another one to Josh Thornton. That's 3 hands on the trot now. And we're back to a one-shot ball game. Yeah.
This is deja vu of the semi-finals for JT.
Now we did the outline of the 7s, 8s for 5-6s, B6s, ambulant and wheelchair bowlers with reduced balance function, but able to bowl a full length end. So you can still reach all the way, but reduced balance, reduced ability to get necessarily bowl in the traditional senses.
Yep.
Of the word, often you'll see arm bowlers or bowlers using things like walkers or wheelchairs to be able to play the game still.
Yep.
And then the B5s are the wheelchair bowlers who only use very small bowl, size 00s, due to limitations of upper limb factors. Severe other issues such as upper body limb function, poor balance and coordination, not able to necessarily bowl a full length end or need a splinting device.
I think that's the biggest thing between the 5 and the 6 is just that ability to play a full length end.
Yeah, and the 5s also includes bowlers who don't necessarily have arms and bowl with their feet.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's that gentleman's name? Oh, he's from...
If Tony is
I've seen it on
listening,
YouTube.
then he will be the one to tell us in the chat. I think he's an English fella.
Yeah, he's
We've
unreal.
talked about before. Yeah, I've not seen him, but I've heard about it, and apparently does it incredibly well. So this is the 7-8 final, and for anyone that's wanting to get classified out there, reach out to us at Bowls Victoria, and we'll do what we can to get that bowl rolling. You can reach out to me, glenn@bowlsvic.org.au, and have a chat about your potential eligibility, what the Parabowls community looks like, and how to get more involved. And maybe you could be here at next year's state championships as well.
Yeah, no, it's one of the best things I ever did, for sure. So definitely encourage that. Even if not from a competitive point of view, Glenn, but just those open training days, and if people wanted to get involved with that, with a disability of some sort, I think that's a pretty good starting point too.
It's one thing that we do hear a lot is, I'm a bowler with a disability and I don't necessarily know where to turn for coaching or how to get better and how to handle that. Whereas those days, even if you're not necessarily dealing with the coaches that we have at those training days and hearing things from them, seeing other bowlers with a disability, Barry Brennan turning his own up there to make it a couple, seeing those other bowlers with disabilities and the way that they operate with them and the way that they function can be enough to give you some of your own tips and ways to operate. And be it Bob Love, Tony Sherwell's jumped in, is the fella that bowls with his feet.
Now this shot's going to look very unkind on the mat.
Yes.
He's going to go forehand. He's searching to get that weight
under his own. His own through hard would be okay. He's called for it in the guts. That's probably third.
Yeah.
Two paddles held up. But yes, those training days, how different people use their walkers or might use a stick to balance, different footwork positions that bowlers might learn, that you can learn from each other, and how they've managed to
manage
bowl
symptoms.
around their
100%
disability and how it affects them in their day-to-day on green life.
I know, like myself personally, I sort of model. I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't pump him up too much, but yeah, Lucas, like with his fixed
Barry
stance.
Brennan catches the front one, turns it over and runs through. Gonna have a look at whether it's the 2 or the 3. It is sitting on a rather precarious angle. Take the first one out and have a look from there. I'd imagine the front one will be in. It's a matter of the one behind it that's touching.
They might need some...
no, the tape's not going to carry over the bowl.
Nah, can't be the 2 by the look of it.
Pretty comfortable with it just being the 2. And
17-16.
That gets Barry to that checkout zone that we've talked about.
Oh, that was Barry. Sorry, yeah. Jeez, I'm going well, Glenn.
First time on here, you've done all right here, mate. No, you were saying you found that a good chance to model a lot of what you were doing off Lucas and what you've learnt from him through that.
Yeah, like just going to that fixed stance. Quite a big change after having taken a step previously in my bowls action, and yeah, sort of just modelled how to go about it off him and others. So
We are here from Kangaroo Flat Bowling Club. Live stream brought to you by Dandenong Club and Moama Bowling Club. As always, it is Para State Championships B7-8 final. And we are getting to the pointy end. Barry Brennan only 3 shots away in this first to 21 matchup. Josh Thornton, 2-time champion in this discipline.
Oh, yeah. Fair start.
Nice and close there as he tries to come back from this current 3-shot deficit.
I've got one fan in the chat, so thanks, Kev.
Been too busy talking that we've missed a few of the comments. Karen Brennan asking about a bit of wind there. Yes, there certainly has been. As you can see on the shade cloth behind Josh's head right now, it's been ripping throughout this game, a head to tail wind. And holding that bowl out quite wide there as we speak. So
Yeah,
we do apologise if any of the cameras are bobbling around in the breeze. It's been very gusty this matchup. Now,
Yeah.
BV President Pat Tram saying that she's learnt a little bit from the descriptions of the disabilities and how the classifications work as well. A wonderful human being is Pat Tram. Does great things for us in the game in at Bowls Victoria. As Barry Brennan is very close here. Sits the bowl of JT and it'll be up and down. Getting the signal of a measure. JT will follow this one down and have a look for himself.
That's definitely another thing in singles is following that third bowl down. For a lot of people, it's, I know myself, I don't do it because it's just physically just a bit more taxing and time consuming. But for most people,
as much as anything that's why we've got these different classifications as well. The 7s and 8s that have generally got that ability to follow might have a fatigue level that they can handle that across the day, whereas it is much more of an ask for you playing in that 5 and 6 grouping.
Yeah, we probably rely on the markers a little bit more to guide us, and that's one thing we've had here at Kangaroo Flat this week is really good markers from, I think, a few different clubs around the region. So.
The other thing that we talked about with the IDs before, having seen Trevor Nelson on the green, but also available for the physical classifications too, is having an on-green director or support person to help you through, particularly some of those long days when you're playing 3-4 games.
Yep.
Help you with little things like picking up the bowls, where sometimes those number of bends over in a day can be the adding factor.
Yep.
Wheelchair bowlers helping getting pushed up and down the green, so they're not always having to use their own arms to power themselves along.
Yeah.
Barry gave himself a chance there. The way that he's played that makes me fairly comfortable that Josh has the shot.
Well, I think the other thing as well, like he's in that checkout zone, like he rolls that, he's holding game. So I don't mind that from Barry.
Certainly a chance for Josh here to just draw a second, but if he does move that jack 8 to 10 inches, he can make 3 of his own. He's trying hard to get down to that blue bowl of Barry Brennan's.
Well, he might have
Doesn't
his
want to
own.
have it. He's rocked it.
This is going to be tight.
Wedged in there. I think we could have a 3-way measure coming up here.
Oh, wasn't tight at all.
No.
Wow.
So much for a 3-way measure, Clarkie.
Yeah, we've read that well.
With that, 4 of the last 5 ends have gone the way of Josh Thornton. 1 shot in it. And they are now both in that illustrious checkout zone.
Yeah, that one's close for 21.
Going straight for the umpire and the tape on it.
If the mat's on the tee,
I believe the mat is up by 1 mat length and a couple of inches.
I'm going to say short by an inch. That's my guess.
An inch. Going with the big margins here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all the black marks on the tape too. We can see it. It's incredibly close.
Oh. I'm on here. Nah, in by probably 2 inches.
You need to get your eyes checked, mate. Over
Yep.
21 metres, you're out by 3 inches. What's going on here?
And the eyes are like my legs. No good.
Oh, Joey Capuano in the chat. Hope the wheels haven't fallen off like Sherelgan.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm on my walking frame on one of the days. One of my wheels came off, so quite literally the wheels came off.
Of course, you play a lot of bowls with Joey, your regular partner in the integrated pairs events.
Yeah, good fellow Joey.
Of course, works in the space himself.
He does, yep.
Still got to set up that meeting with Joey and Trev.
Great starter, JT.
Bernie Dietering in the chat as well. Is there anything that Nick Clark can't do? Bernie, another great addition that we've had to the
Yes,
Parabowls
yes.
community in the last
He's our
Oh,
new favourite, isn't
few
he?
months. Yeah. Came in November and is keen as anything.
Yep. He actually played a really good game against JT yesterday as well in their sectionals. Definitely.
His first ever Para-State Championships.
Ooh.
It's funny, after the Vic Open, I was down at Traralgon Bowls Club on the Monday helping pack up the last of everything. Walked through the gate and Bernie was there on the carpet. Going, that last game, it's been sitting in my head all along when he was there practicing with the arm and
Yeah, super
working
keen.
away. Just a brilliant attitude. Josh with a handy 2 here early on. We'll be looking to get one past or to change it up somehow. 2 bowls at Jack High, just in front of. Gets through the hole, moves the Jack and changes that head up rather nicely
Wow.
there.
That couldn't have worked any better. He'll be very happy with that setup.
Yeah, reduced the target size and got one behind it. Also has put Barry Brennan's nearest bowl in front of Jack, so he'll be looking to just draw underneath it or turn that over. But he's having to do it on that tricky hand.
It is, yep. Yeah, missed the line on that side of the green today. You just get punished.
Interesting decision here for JT. Can try and draw a third. Probably doesn't have the tee, but doesn't want to build that target at all. A 1 bowl, 1 Jack target's pretty nice at this stage of the game.
I'd probably go back here personally, but that could be wrong.
We haven't seen a lot of weight or aggression from Barry, but when we have, he's been thereabouts. He does get the deepest bowl on the rink.
Yep.
So if Barry's going to play weight now, he needs to move that Jack at least 2 feet, but no more than 6, because he'd be back to being down again, unless he was to go right the way through with it.
Yeah. There's a shot on that backhand. I think he's going to play a similar shot, just try and correct.
If he does get an inside a piece of his shy bowl on the way in, he can just sit the shot bowl down clean. That bowl that's on the angle from that rear view is about 2 bowls in front of Jack. The second shot is 3 bowls behind.
Oh, he might have overcorrected on the line.
Piece of his own up would work, but just misses around the outside. Played that good weight to get that Jack moving to his catches.
Yep.
But it will be another 2 to Josh Thornton. Played 20 ends in this B7, B8 Para State Singles Final. Josh Thornton sits on 19, Barry Brennan 18 in the race to 21. Of course, Josh won the B7 and 8 in 2023. He also won the Open Para Singles in 2021 for his 3rd title.
I think the Com Game gold medal might be top of the list of that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, he's done it at all
It's
levels.
just going through the Bolsvik honour boards up on our website there. Has he got any? Has he got any pairs to go with it as well? Yes, won the pairs last year and the year before. Oh, he's won 3 of the last 4 pairs coming into this year.
That was with
DJ.
yeah.
Yeah.
Both from the same region.
21, 23 and 24. Took those titles away.
Oh, he's got another good bowl here.
And one in 2017 as well with Tim Slater.
Another Ballarat boy, original.
Well,
Barry trying to work off that outside bowl of JT. Yeah.
important bowl. JT was holding the 2 and that's all he requires for the title.
Tell you what, that wind's dropped off and the temperature's gone up 3 degrees.
There had been a bit of cloud cover as well.
Yeah.
That's all gone away. Sun is shining. Josh Thornton here playing the forehand side.
Actually
Trying
starting
to
a
get
bit
his own
truer.
up or just get
Oh,
by.
What a shot.
And draws the second, once again, holding championship. Not far away from getting his own or under. Outside edge would be good. Gets it up and through. The Jack trickles onto Josh Thornton's bowl.
Yep, does save the game for now.
That's a tough one for Josh. He's got a shot where he can try and win it here. Just bring that Jack just a little bit back to his own bowl and leave it as the 2. The worry is that Barry Brennan does have the 2 deepest bowls on the rink. And if Barry can find a way to get that Jack down the back, he can make the 3 of his own and win it here as well.
This is a
I
big
would
end.
imagine that Josh probably needs to go and cover those 2 deepest bowls. He has changed hands.
He's got to
trying to
stay.
draw and trail.
Yeah. I think he was a bit worried about getting into the blue there if Barry's reading his body language, but it did duck away.
Right, so Josh Thornton holding 1, that'd take him to 20. Barry Brennan on 18 needs 3 for the win. There is a shot on.
There's some.
If he wants to play a big swinging weight through his own bowl, that's just on the jack. Poke his own through the jack and take it deep into the rink. Can make 2 to take him to 20. Jack runs down along that centre line, right the way through, and the bowl follows. Can get the 3 shots for the win. It would take big weight on the backhand to do so. We will see what he elects to play shortly as he walks back to the mat, picks up his bowl. Takes a moment before playing. He's playing the forehand side. Doesn't have the weight to poke that right the way through. I think he's just trying to
sit the bowl.
Yeah, get the double push. Happy to take the one down there from the look of things. And 1 shot it is to Josh Thornton.
1 away
now
for JT.
1 away. What's he done? He's 1, 2, 3, 6 of the last 7 ends the way of Josh Thornton. 9 shots to 2 over that period of time. It's been since we've seen that shift to the shorter length. No need for the umpire this end, as he's comfortably covered the 21. It's the first stress out of the way.
This is the biggest bowl when you're just chasing that 1 at the end. I reckon that first bowl, if you nail it.
During his last game with Ross Higgins, I was down at the head end. He followed his 3rd down. I said, that first one helps. He's gone, you've just got to be able to do it.
Yep.
If you can put that pressure on with bowl 1 in a tight contest,
yep.
It is game shifting.
Yeah, it's working back okay. Just ran on a bit.
Good weight from Josh there. After such a high standard contest with some incredibly tight heads, this one is that little bit more nervous to start off with.
Even for these 2 experienced campaigners, it still shows that nerves can affect anyone. As Barry just pulls up a little bit.
Josh's experience there showing, asking the question. I'm sure he knows exactly what's going on at crunch time.
He's saying he didn't send it, and he is correct.
Yeah, 5 feet, 4 to 5 feet of weight lacking. Barry Brennan needing a 4 feet correction of his own on his last bowl. And he's also given the oh no.
This is the boys are just feeling it here on this end. That's what that's what singles does, doesn't it? At times, it's
absolutely. So Josh Thornton holding a couple of shots, holding championship. No doubt wanting to get one that little bit closer though, and put that bit of extra pressure on Barry Brennan. As there is still plenty of space there, with Barry having the last bowl to play.
got the speed, got the speed.
Josh asking for it to get up. It has done. That's the number 1 at this stage.
It's a decent one.
Brennan here. A shot to try and keep the game alive. He's on a high line.
It's got a
The
bit of
weight
work
looks
to
good,
do.
but it needs to do some turning. And he won't get down. It will be enough for Josh Thornton to secure his third B7, B8 singles title. Another state championship to the collection. Well done to Barry Brennan in making the final, and a huge congratulations to Josh Thornton. That brings to a close the 2025 Bowls Victoria Para-State Championships. Thank you, Michael Clark, for joining me on.
Thanks, Len.
Congratulations on a strong week of your own.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. So, yeah, thanks, Bolsvik and everyone at Kangaroo Flat. It's been very enjoyable.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you to Kangaroo Flat Bowls Club for hosting. Thank you to Josh on the decks. As always, thank you to Dandenong Club and Moama Bowling Club, our streaming partners. We can't do it without them. Incredibly proud to have seen Para Championships streamed for the first time on BVTV. We'll be back shortly for the Champions of State Pennant coming up soon. Saturday, Sunday, I believe it's 4 days on the trot, the Monday, Tuesday as well. That'll be the next action you see here. Thank you once again from BVTV.